A new report shows that only 0.1% of Black Americans live in a county where their quality of life is on par with their white neighbors. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Takeaway, and you hit one of them, is around this idea that only 0.1% of Black Americans live in places where their outcomes are on par with their white neighbors. And if you kind of look across the different types of places, we did some math that suggests that it would take about 300 years at the current pace of improvement for us to actually close these gaps and reach something that looks more like parity. So not in our children or even grandchildren or even great-grandchildren's lifetime. And so we've got to really think about the sense of urgency.
Wow, really eye-opening data there. Again, that full report is available on McKinsey.com. I want to talk to you about a few other things when we're talking about Black economic mobility. The Fed released some data earlier this year that now about 40% of Black Americans hold stocks, fastest growing group of stockholders. How meaningful is that when we talk about closing the racial wealth gap? Looking at the latest stats right now, the median Black family only has about 1/6 the wealth of the median white family.
Yeah, there's no doubt, Frank, that the allocation in your kind of asset portfolio is really important to have an exposure.
Jesus. This is why they say we'll be broke by the year, or negative net worth by the year 2045, I think it was, or 2050. Just look at the numbers. This is insane.
The stock market is critical. And you've really seen a wave of younger Black Americans get really involved in the stock market. Some of that's been spurred by changes in technology, some of the mobile investing apps. Some of it's been changed by the fee structure and making it, frankly, cheaper to actually invest in stocks. Okay. And so I think that's a really positive trend that will make a big difference over time.
All right. I want to talk to you about another trend. That's artificial intelligence. You actually put out some research just a few weeks ago. So please explain this. So according to your research, you say AI could grow the overall racial wealth gap by $45 billion over the next 20 years or so. Just for context, according to Dr. Sandy Darity of Duke, the racial wealth gap stands at about $14 trillion. But at the same time, you say AI is going to help grow Black wealth. Explain what's going on here.
Well, I think the notion is that this is a real opportunity. And we know that when there's big technological leaps, they are always economic events and wealth creating events for some folks. And so we estimate that number to be in the hundreds of billions of dollars over the coming years. And we just are looking at current rates of participation in startups, in venture funding, and saying, if we don't up our rate of participation as the Black community, okay, we will lose out to the tune of tens of billions of dollars. That said, if we are proactive and thoughtful about who participates in this coming wealth event, it can be an opportunity for Black Americans.
All right, speaking of proactive, right now, of course, it's earnings season here on Wall Street. Next week, you have a number of consumer-facing and retail names reporting. So according to your research, you say a lot of these companies, they're missing out on a $300 billion annual opportunity if they just tailored their goods more to the Black community. I mean, what are you exactly talking about here? Because obviously, these companies, they want to sell to everybody.
Yeah, and look, and I think many of these companies are, but I think our premise is by having a deeper, more focused effort, and frankly, including diverse folks in your market research, as you develop your products, you can really get to a place that meets these needs in a different way. Black consumers are a formidable block of consumers. They spend over $1 trillion today. We estimate by 2030, Black consumers will contribute $1.7 trillion of spend to the economy. And that's a real opportunity. And look at the growth rates, they're faster than the general population. It's a huge imperative to get right.
I want to touch on that last part that he said there, because I think that's the most important part of it all. The first and the last part. The first part, they talked about the wealth in Black families, the difference between the wealth in Black families and the wealth in white families. which I've done a video on previously before. Um, the last part, it talked about our ability to spend trillions of dollars in the black community. This is the part that drives me insane when I hear people, black folks, especially black folks that got money. Like, we, I understand people who are not well off financially or have not created a financial, um, have not created financial peace for themselves in general are struggling. I'll just say poor people in general struggle to grow their wealth. There's a big huge part of the black community that is part of this $1 trillion spend, right? Because in order for you to be a part of this $1 trillion spend, you have to have money to spend. So they're not talking about poor black people. They're talking about black people with some money to spend, some discretionary money to spend, are out here spending trillions of dollars, and we're not putting the money where it can grow and help close the wealth gap. It makes no sense for us to be spending trillions of dollars and only have average of $45,000 net worth in the family. This is literally the reason why I am against reparations in the form of a check, because we only thing we're gonna do is give it back to the government. We're just gonna go out and buy dumb stuff, and we're not gonna invest. He just gave us a few ways that we can get ahead and put our money in the right places, right? Investing, looking at the future, getting into AI, all of these different ways. And those of us with some money are not, we just don't do that in general. We try and live the same type of lifestyle as our white counterparts, and the system was not designed for us to spend like them. We don't have, generally speaking, we don't have generational wealth. So when we get our first good job and we pan, or we start our business and we get, our business is taking off, what's the first thing that we like to go do? We like to go buy a brand new car that's going down in value. We like to go spend our money with in high end fashion and brands and stuff like that, instead of taking our money and saying, "Hey, I cannot live my life like a wealthy white folk. I'm a wealthy black person. I have to do it differently." That's the only way. That's the only way that we're gonna help close this gap. We are literally trying to live in a system that's not designed for us, and when we get some money, we try and spend uh, just like those who are in a system that is designed for them. So again, this is the reason why I'm not a fan of reparations in the form of in cash or checks. We actually, a lot of black folks had a chance to prove that they could do something with money, with those PPE those PPE loans and stimulus checks. And you know what, I went to Vegas during that era a few times. You know what I saw? I saw a lot of Maseratis driving around. I went to Miami for my birthday in 2020. I saw a lot of Maseratis driving around, rental or not. Why are you renting a Maserati when you just got a check? when you got a one-time check? Why are you renting a Maserati? Why are you buying a Maserati if you just got a one-time check? Those should have been down payments on houses. If you was one of those who got a 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000 check and you went out and you bought a car and some jewelry and tricked off the rest. Now you're sitting here trying to figure out, oh, the system is against me. Nah, you blew your chance, and this is the reason why we do not need reparations in the form of cash. Do I think that we deserve and need reparations? Absolutely not in the form of cash. Not right now. We're not ready for it. We spend trillions of dollars in the economy every year, and our overall family net worth is $45,000 a family. Nope. So we'll have more conversations. Y'all hear this more often. Again, these types of videos that I do don't get the traction that I want them to get, because these are the types of videos that I want to discuss throughout the channel. But people tend not to click on these types of Black folks tend not to click on these types of videos for some reason. But as the channel grows, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna share it. I'm gonna force you all to pay attention and to listen to these types of conversations. That's what we're gonna do. All right. That is my promise to y'all as this channel grows. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.